You know, a couple of years ago, my neighbor came to me in a huff. He was worried. He was afraid. He held his laptop in his hand and he said, Obama wants me to pay him in order to unlock my computer. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And it turns out he had been looking on some naughty websites on his wife's laptop and got ransomware. And then I had to go through the process of getting that off of his computer. And it was annoying and it was funny at the same time. But that's my idiotic neighbor in his idiotic porn situation. Not the entire city of Atlanta, which its city government systems were down due to a ransomware attack. It's not funny in any stretch of the by any stretch of the imagination. But this is way freaking worse than my neighbor going like, they want $200. Anyway, the FBI called in as some city services are interrupted and employees are told to turn off their PCs. Now, it says here that the city of Atlanta government has apparently become the victim of a ransomware attack. The city's official Twitter account announced that the city's government is currently experiencing outages on various consumer-facing applications, including some that consumers may use to pay bills or access court-related information. Now, there's one thing you never want to mess with, it's the courts. So if you can't get access to that information, you're kind of in a bad place. Now, according to a report from Atlanta NBC affiliate WXIA, the city employee sent a station a screenshot of a ransomware message demanding a payment of $6,800 to unlock each computer or $51,000 to provide all the keys for the affected systems. Employees received emails from the city's information technology department instructing them to unplug their computers if they noticed anything suspicious. An internal email shared with WXIA said that the internal system affected included the city's payroll application. Now, this is what they got on their computer. Now, if you remember, just as a quick side thing, going back 3.5 years ago when the Sony hack happened, they were also hit with something very similar. So whoever got in, they got in and they planted this stuff on like all the computers. In a statement to ours, a city spokesperson said, "At this time, our Atlanta information management team is working diligently with support from Microsoft to resolve the issue. We are confident that our team of technology professionals will be able to restore applications soon. The city's primary website remains online and the city government will continue to post updates there," the spokesperson added. Well, here's their first problem. They're going to Microsoft support in order to resolve the issue. No one who's ever gone to Microsoft support has ever truly resolved the issue, because probably every one of their computers is running Windows 10. An FBI spokesperson told the press that the Bureau was coordinating with the city of Atlanta to determine what happened. Someone got in, probably very similar ways to how they got into Podesta's emails or the DNC emails, right? They send a phishing email and people are dumb. They're so dumb, right? It's like, oh, you got locked out. You got to go in and re-sign in. I'm like, yeah, every time I get one of those emails or one of those notifications, I always end up going, I don't click on their link. I end up going to, typing it in myself just to be on the double sure side. But people don't always think that way. They go, oh, they're trying to be helpful. Click, 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 password, and then they're in. And then they start putting all the stuff on the system, and they start trying to find ways to extort it. I mean, $6,800 a computer is quite a bit, or $51,000. But they're holding it for like a relatively small number. Am I the only one that thinks that? If you've almost got like the city of Atlanta, their computer system in a bit of turmoil, you've got it caught through ransomware, and you've kind of got them by the balls, and all you're asking for is $51,000. That seems like a small number. However, to be fair, asking for that kind of number might be so small the city might just pay it to make it all go away and then not deal with the massive fallout from trying to go public over this stuff, because the 51,000 compared to like the bad press is like a small freaking number. And that would be like, that's what they're thinking. Oh, we hit it with a small number, we're good. But if not, then we're not. So anyway, based on the screenshot, one security expert WXIA showed it said that it resembled a message from a variant of SamSam, a family of ransomware that struck a number of hospitals 2 years ago. Those malware attacks exploited a Java deserialization vulnerability in Java-based application servers, but it's not clear that the Atlanta outbreak started the same way. Now, I just have to point out that the Atlanta outbreak line there is a very clever little bit of pun. It's punny to me, because what is based in Atlanta? The CDC. Now, had this been a story about the CDC and said then that would have been perfect. But I don't know if they knew what they did there, but I kind of like that. So yeah, these kind of ransomware attacks happen. Now, here's an update at 5 p.m. In a live stream press conference, Atlanta City COO said that the city payroll will not be affected. Microsoft, Cisco, FBI, and DHS officials are involved in the investigation. And so that's looking like everything's coming together and whatnot. So what you've got a city that is being held by a ransomware. So the information is light right now. But it does go to show you that you should always be very vigilant about what you click online. You should always be very, very, very careful about how you do these things, because this is how they get in. This is how they get in, and this is how they try to hold you ransom for money. Although I will say these guys are smart in asking for $51,000 and not like $2-3 million, which would then be a lot easier to trace. The city of Atlanta is big enough to where $58,000 or $51,000 would just basically be like pocket change, and no one would really care. But I'm also kind of curious whether or not the guys are asking for the money in cryptocurrency, because I feel like that would be something that would be almost untraceable if that's what if they could get what they want out of that. And we've seen a couple ransomware attacks recently where people wanted cryptocurrency to unlock it. So that's kind of going to be where things are next. And considering how untraceable all that is, it's ever more the reason why you need to just not click randomly on stuff. Thankfully, as these situations should go down as younger generations get older, because it's the older generations that click on everything thinking that the internet is safe at all times, when the younger generation is generally far more suspicious. What you just saw was a shorter clip from a longer show. The Rustled Podcast airs every Sunday through Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard on rustled.net. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well as 3 Buck Theater and potentially becoming one of our sponsors at patreon.com/mundanemat. Thank you and have a great day.